welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Today we continue learning Hovot HaLevavot, Duties of the Heart, by Rabbi Bahya Ibn Pakuda. We're in the gate of abstinence, and today he talks about the conditions of a special abstinence, as one of the pious has put it, are as follows. So now, last week we were talking about what not righteous abstinence looks like when people like to look pious and God-fearing and righteous, but their agendas are not truthful, they're deceiving, and they're like con artists. Today, he's telling us, he's gonna describe a person that really is a righteous human being and the correct way of abstinence. And so he says this abstinent individual is always happy, he has a good heart, he has a good countenance, he's exceedingly magnanimous, he's grand, he's giving, he's generous, and his soul is most humble. He's a humble human being, and he neither bears a grudge, nor covets, nor slanders, nor gossips about anybody. So this is a person that if you meet one of these rare gems in the world, you're gonna recognize it, because it's a person that is never talking about other people, he's never judging other people, he's never has grudges against people, he's never upset up with anybody, and he abhors, he hates prominence and hates lordship. He's always running away from honor. This is a person that's not looking for honor. He doesn't want to be aggrandized. He doesn't want to be an important person. And he's composed of mind, remembers, and expresses gratitude. This is a very, very important trait, that he's a grateful human being, that he's always seeing the good that Hashem gives him and what other people do for him. And he's most diffident and of little harm. If he laughs, it's not in excess. He's not a person that's laughing like crazy. If he's angry, he's not enraged. He's not a person that's enraged. And his laughter is a smile, and it's very, very subtle. And when he asks a question, his purpose is to learn. So when he's asking people questions, his intention is not to humiliate people or denigrate them or make them look bad. He's always really has a sincere interest in learning from other people. And like the Pirkei Avot, he says, who's wise? The one that learns from everybody. Although he is a very learned person. And his knowledge is vast, but his humility is great. His resolution is firm, but he's not hasty or foolish in his actions. He argues courteously and responds respectfully. Like, this is a trait that the world has lost. Like, people cannot come to talk about their differences in a respectful way. If you don't believe like someone else, they're gonna cancel you, mistreat you, diminish you. Here we see that a really, really special person that knows how to abstain is a person that really is respectful, and he knows to listen to other people's points of view without getting offended. It doesn't mean he has to agree with them, but he's able to understand where they're coming from and listen to other people without trying to convince them otherwise. He respects the views of others. And when angered, he's just, and when entreated, he's responsive. So he's a just human being. He's like a tzaddik. His friendship is genuine. He's not a person that is looking to see what other people can give him. He's not an interested human being. He has no agenda with people. He's not looking what other people can do for him. And he is a very noble and loyal friend. He accepts the Creator's judgment. He rules over his passion. He does not speak harshly of one who does him an injury. He does not occupy himself with what is not useful. Look, this is very important. He is not wasting his time. He has a sense of time, management of what's important in life and what's really a waste of time. And so he doesn't occupy himself with things that take him out of the world. And he does not rejoice at the calamity of another person. He's not happy if someone else is suffering. And he's happy if another person is rejoicing, and speaks no evil of anyone. He does not impose upon others, but is of great help to them. He expresses deep gratitude at a time of misfortune, and he endures patiently at a time of ruin. It's less like the more grateful you are, the more things you have to be grateful for. So even in bad times, he can see the good. And if solicited, he gives. If defrauded, he forgives. And though he is refused, he is generous. Though he is shunned, he remains affable. He is softer than butter, sweeter than honey. He urges others to the truth and speaks the truth. He forgoes his desires and looks ahead to the day of his death, and he keeps his word. Look, he keeps his word. This is another very important point here. Like, so many people are always promising, I promise you, I'll do this, and they never do it. This is a person that he says what he means, and he means what he says. And he's wise, vigorous, he's a noble soul and a pleasant towards others. If he sees something good, he calls attention to it. If he sees someone doing something good, he'll say, look what amazing thing this person is doing. If he sees evil, he covers it. He doesn't talk about it. He tries not to show it. He minimizes it. And he's esteemed and pure, intelligent, and God-fearing. His company is a joy, and his absence is a sorrow. Wisdom has refined him. Humility has adorned him. He reminds the learned and teaches the ignorant. Any deed of another he deems nobler than his own deed. Any other soul he regards as purer than his own soul. So he looks at people in very high esteem, and he doesn't take anybody for granted. He sees that a person, whatever he does, is amazing. And he knows his own faults and is mindful of his sins. He has an accounting of himself, and he loves God and strives to do his will. We see that this is a very special human being, and we should really strive to be like this. This is the person that we should really try to become. And he finishes off saying, a further condition of a special abstinence is the assumption of all the duties of the heart that have been mentioned in this book. So he really comes from a place of truth, a place of connection to God. Anything that takes him away from God, he's not interested. Anything that takes him towards Hashem, he will do. So I wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.